Hello and welcome to Knit and Loom Designs, where we do all of your left-handed knitting tutorials. Today is a little bit more ambidextrous. So I'm going to show you how to line a purse or bag. I made this cute little purse. It's going to be a crossbody bag, and I need to line it. If I'm going to use it every day, I have to line it so that this doesn't stretch, because in knitting it's stretchy, right? It's got some stretch to it. And although it's cotton, it's a cotton linen blend. When I wash it, yes, it will, come back to size, come back to its place and everything. But if I'm going to use it every day, I'm going to line it. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So this is just a fat quarter, because it's not a big purse, and I washed it and I did iron it. It doesn't look like I did, but I did iron it. It did look worse. And I have it folded in half, right? Have it folded in half. So I will get both pieces. Now I'm actually going to use the fold on the bottom to my advantage. So I have one less seam to sew. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a Sharpie here, and I'm going to show you. Because it's going to be on the inside, I'm using a Sharpie because a Sharpie is just nice and dark so you can see it. And I am going to draw about 1/4 inch. This is not exact on the outside. This is where I'm going to cut. Okay, so I'm going to cut on this line. Is it exact? No, not really. But that's okay. It doesn't need to be. And then I'm going to do also 1/4 inch up here. Again, not exact. It's okay. I know there are going to be some people who are going to be like, but it's not perfect. It's okay. And I'm going to connect these lines this way. Okay. This is the line I'm going to cut on. Give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got it all cut out. So I am going to sew 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here. You can use a machine, you can use hand. Listen, it doesn't need to look fancy. Now there is one thing I want to add. I use a solid, so front and back don't really matter, right? If you're using a print because you want a pretty fancy print on the inside, make sure that your front of your print is on the inside. You want the back of your print facing out when you go to sew, because we're going to flip it inside out, okay? I'll be right back with that all sewn. Okay, so we got our piece all sewn. Yes, I did use pink. I didn't have any purple, and I didn't think to buy any, but my strap is this color pink and this color lilac, so it will all go together in the end. So we are not going to flip this. We are just going to stick it in, okay? Because we do not want to see the seam on the inside, right? So this is what it's going to look like on the inside, right? So remember, if you have a print, you want your print to be right here, and you're going to stick it in there. Now, when I get done, I like to tack, like throw a stitch in here, and maybe 1 or 2 on this edge and 1 or 2 here to make sure that it stays down in there. But it looks perfect. It fits really nice, right? Fits in there really nice. Beautiful. Now, this is where things will shift and change depending on what you want. If you do not want to put a zipper in, then all you're going to do is fold this down like this and sew it down. But I am going to put a zipper in. So I'm going to go get my zipper. So I had a tiny helper seamstress come in, and she helped me put the zipper in, and I totally forgot to come over and show you the in-between of like just the zipper and everything. So this is what it looks like when you put the zipper in. So just like I said, I was going to sew. I sewed it right onto the hem, and I did use the machine. Now I am not an expert seamstress, so this corner here, this corner wasn't so bad, but this corner here, where this stays open, was a little rough for me. I ended up hand sewing this part in because I don't have a zipper foot. I think I lost it when I moved a year ago, but that's okay. So my zipper is in. It's in pretty good. So because I did it in 2 steps, I personally did it in 2 steps because, again, I'm not an expert seamstress in any way. So I sewed the zipper into the pouch and then sewed the whole pouch with the zipper onto my purse. Just so I was, oop, there's a stray. Just so I was certain that it's not, the zipper is not going to come out, because the zipper is sewn onto the bag and onto the purse in 2 separate points. But I also want to show you what I did on the bottom. I took my bottom and I just added some quick little basting stitches on the bottom, again, to make sure that it doesn't, you pull something out and like the whole lining comes out. That would be really annoying. So, and because I did it right along this seam, look, there's another stray. I did it right on this seam. Oh my goodness, my words. You can't see it because they're way in there. So that way too, it stays down. And this is how you put a lining into a purse. Now, if you are better at sewing, it's going to look prettier when you do it than I did, because I'm just not an expert in the sewing field. But it is simple enough that a beginner could sew in a lining into a purse or a bag. And I will also say that you do not need a machine for this. Just because I used a machine doesn't mean you need one. You could do all of this by hand. It might take you a little bit longer, but you could do this whole process by hand and it would be just fine. So I hope this was helpful for you. And I am going to put my strap onto my purse. And I'm going to go load it with all my stuff and maybe go take some pictures so I can post this pattern this coming week. Happy knitting. I hope this was helpful for you. And if it was, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with a friend that you think this would be helpful for. So happy knitting.